Overcoming Shyness and Loving Lynn, a Memoir. This book is dedicated to Lynn Denise Krupey, and it's about the love we discovered and shared. It's also about my quest to overcome shyness and to find love. What makes things complicated is that I have always been paralyzed by shyness. I was told, and it seems to be the case, that the guy has to ask the girl/lady out and not the other way around. This seems brutally unfair and problematic for a shy guy. Who came up with that rule anyway? Why? In this quest to find love, I was successful. I fell in love more than once. The first girl I ever loved was named Celta. I learned on New Year's Day of 1991 that she died. I didn't think I could stop crying. I was able to heal and find love again. It is possible to overcome shyness and to find love. I was very successful in this regard. I love to tell you that story. It's a love story about two people, Lynn and Bruce, two poets, two people in love who wanted a normal life. If you thought that shyness was the only challenge in our lives, unfortunately you would not know the full story. Anyway, I was in love. I was totally, completely, madly in love. Introduction: memories, accomplishments, dreams, and hopes. My memories of love are proof that I can accomplish great things, proof that I have something to offer others. I want to fall in love again. This book is not just about me. Celta, Camille Head, and then Lynn Denise Krupey allowed me to cuddle up with them, to be nurtured by them, and they helped me grow. I have nurtured this book that I'm writing now. An earlier version of it already appears in my autobiography. This book focuses on Lynn mainly because of the intensity of the love that we shared, the duration of that life we had together, and when it occurred in my life. It might seem strange to say that finding love was an accomplishment because it just happens, right? We fall in love and that is like something happening to us, an experience. That is absolutely true. Unfortunately, when you're really shy like me and you have a social phobia, that makes it hard to achieve a goal of finding someone to love who will love me. Anyway, for the longest time, I quite literally never thought it was possible that I would find love or build a relationship with someone. I was too shy. Overcoming shyness might not be the best way to think about my story in my life. I learned to cope with the anxiety and fear of rejection that I once felt. My social anxiety or social phobia was not limited to meeting someone in a romantic sense. I pursued a career as a psychiatric social worker, which was not even considered by me when I first went off to college. Anything involving counseling and helping others in a social context was not something I imagined possible for me back then. It seems to me, based on experience, that unless you are in love, you don't know what the experience of love or being in love is. Unless you are in love, that kind of love is just an abstract idea. Honestly, at this time, now as I write this introduction, I have no sense that it can or will happen again. I wonder if I could go back in time, would discover that I felt the same exact thing then that I feel now, overwhelming doubt. Part of me thinks that I had more hope about love back then than I do now. I had a great deal more hope about a great many things in the past, and I'm trying to restore that hope. Perhaps that is the purpose of my writing this book, to restore hope, to remember a set of feelings, to believe that things can be good, that I can feel something very good again. It's Saturday, October 16, 2021. It feels like summer with the water temperature near 80 and the air temperature was at 80 and climbing by 10:30 a.m. The waves are fairly gentle. I'm not far from the pier, Johnny Mercer's pier, where people are fishing. I hear a lifeguard blowing a whistle. She has driven her vehicle in the direction of the water. I have no idea what to call this vehicle. It's like an adult tricycle, but riding on the beach with big, thick wheels with large treads. She is standing up now. She's wearing a bikini. I don't want to seem like I'm staring at her. I walk in her direction to figure out what the purpose is of her actions. She must be trying to communicate something to someone out in the ocean. After setting up my chair on the beach and pulling out my pencil and paper, I decided to go for a walk. I don't recall a day as hot as this in October at Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. The air is somewhere in the 80s. It was about 80 at 10:30 this morning, and the temperature was climbing. The water is warm and comfortable. Some are close to 80 degrees. I'm walking at the edge of the ocean where the waves touch the beach sands in the bright sunlight. It's an unusual day for the warmth or heat. As I walk, part of my mind looks at what I am seeing on the beach, and another part of my mind floats back in time, as if pushed along by some hidden force, not unlike whatever it is that keeps the waves coming. I can't help but be taken back in time. I came here looking for a state of serenity and peace so that I could rejuvenate and awaken the part of me that was full of passion and hope. My mind drifts back in time. It's hard for that not to happen, no matter how much I might want to think about the future with hope. I'm thinking about that time when Lynn and I would walk hand in hand together. I remember what I felt, our fingers interlaced as I walked. I'm sure some of my poet friends would want to read about something more passionate than holding hands, but allow me to describe what I was feeling. It was September of 1992, a day or afternoon like many others. I was aware of every place where Lynn's hand and arm made contact with mine. Like the ocean waves, I felt a tingling feeling that moved up my arm like a chill. I tilted my head back to look skyward to catch my breath. Occasionally I would look at Lynn as we talked or just existed as a couple together. It felt serene as well as excited. I felt like I was 10 feet tall. I existed in a world inhabited by only Lynn and me, yet some part of me was also aware of others. There was only the current moment when this happened. I wasn't thinking about my future plans, obstacles, challenges, or anything else. The present and the past overlap and interlace themselves within my mind. Today it's October 16th, 2021, and I see a couple walking hand in hand. In the past, before I had ever held a girl's hand, I would not have known what that couple was feeling or might be feeling. I might have wished for an experience like that, but I would not have known exactly what I was wishing for. I would only have a vague sense that something like this might be nice. I'm thinking of this as I walk along the beach alone today with the waves crashing around me. It's slightly hypnotic and just perfect for writing the story. Dear reader, have you ever read anything by William Faulkner when he employs a stream of consciousness style of writing? That's what the muse in me wants to do, to let my thoughts jump back and forth between the ideas from different points within my past. I think about the woman whose hand I held as I helped her cross a stream. I helped her keep her balance. I didn't feel anything like I felt holding Lynn's hand. I didn't feel anything like what I felt holding Celta's hand. Now you are confused, dear reader, by my schizophrenic writing as I let my mind jump along on the page, following tangents that pop up within my mind as I walk along the beach on October 16, 2021. I haven't even mentioned Celta, and I don't want to confuse you, dear reader. I don't want to get you lost within my many memories. I'm just thinking that somehow there's something unique that happens when we hold the hand of that special someone. At 2 p.m., I went into the water with an inflated tube. I can swim, but this makes it more peaceful. I learned that I caught the attention of the lifeguard because the waves brought me too close to the pier. So I was right. The whistle was a means of communicating to some of us. I suppose I could have noticed even without my glasses, maybe. Her waving her hands to direct me away from the pier. It's time to leave the beach now. I have a story to tell you, and so you will need some background. In order to put things in context, I'm going to start with the early years of my life so that you understand what it is like to be shy, or was like to be shy. Can I use is and was here without confusing you, dear reader? Shyness is and was a part of me. It takes different forms at different times. So in the next chapter, we will go back to my life growing up in a small town called Celta. We'll start with 3rd grade, when I first came out of my shell for a brief moment. Dear reader, please join me. This is my gift to you. I will put you in the story with me in the next chapter as I go back even further in time.